Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kung. And homage to Master Dubten Dorji. Homage to the rituals of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the good practice tonight. From the western realm of utmost bliss Sukhavati, Amitabha Tathagata. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. Sumu, Tanchen Katso, Dutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, directors of temples and centers, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? These are greetings in various languages.
Hola amigo, te quiero mucho. Skoin, ichiban, shimoji, yum, yati, prin, konbanwa. 今天我们是
Today
修这个阿弥陀佛的法。
We practice Amitabha Dharma practice.
那在这3年之中啊
During these 3 years,
我可以这样子讲，是
I can say that
每个晚上差不多2点到3点的时间。
between 2 and 3 a.m. I would practice the 1,000 Dharma vessels, the Bardo deliverance. And I perform it every night without skipping a night, no break, continually for over 3 years. Most importantly is to guide the netherworld spirits to be reborn into the western realm of Atmos bliss, Sukhavati, the Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha. In the Buddhist sutras, it was mentioned that Amitabha Buddha's Sukhavati is the Pure Land that is praised by all Buddhas of the 10 directions. In the Amitabha Sutra, it is mentioned that the Pure Land is praised by all the Buddhas in the 10 directions. So the meaning of Atmos bliss is that in that realm there's only bliss and happiness and no suffering. That's why it's called Atmos bliss. And in the Saha world, there is happiness and suffering. But in Sukhavati, there is only happiness and no suffering. Second, Atmos bliss is beyond the heavens, which means the Pure Land of Sukhavati is above all the heavens or all the heavenly realms. So a Pure Land or a pure Buddhaverse that is above all the heavenly realms. This point is very important. This is Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, Sukhavati. And I mentioned Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahastambhaprapta Bodhisattva. They are the three main reliances of this Pure Land, of Buddhaverse. Why do we have to go to Sukhavati? According to the Amitabha Sutra, it's written, you cannot lack merit. You have to do all good and avoid evil in order to accumulate merit. But most importantly is on the single-mindedness and total concentration in chanting the name of the Buddha Amitabha. If you want to be born in the Pure Land, you need to be single-minded. When I perform the 1,000 Dharma vessels Dharma Bardo deliverance, every night Amitabha Buddha appears, and by his infinite light, he blesses all the spirits on the Dharma vessels. And by Amitabha Buddha's infinite light, the illumination and purification, only through his illumination and purification, that the spirits have their body and mind purified, so that they can go to the Pure Lands and Buddhaverses. Why is the Sukhavati so supreme? Because there are Dharmakaya Buddhas in the everlasting, serene Pure Land, and Sambhogakaya Buddhas is in the Pure Land of magnificent reward, and also in the and then the Nirmanakaya Buddha in the Pure Land, where the sages and mundane reside together. And on top of that, there are also the 7 layers net, 7 layers trees that would sway in the breeze and produce a harmonious and wonderful sound and music. And Amitabha Buddha also manifested parrots, peacocks, and kalavinkas and jivajiras that produce marvelous harmonious sound, so that all the sentient beings in Sukhavati, hearing those harmonious and graceful sound, they naturally chant the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and to be mindful of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and naturally practice the 37 factors to enlightenment, including the 7 Bodhi divisions and the 8-fold Noble Path. all those marvelous Buddha Dharma in that realm, because everyone is practicing and cultivating. So in the future, they all will attain Buddhahood. So the Pure Land is not the end. They're there and they hear the graceful, harmonious sound, and they naturally chant and be mindful of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and naturally practice the 37 factors of enlightenment. Therefore, once you go there, everyone would practice Buddha Dharma, and every one of them will attain Buddhahood.
So, 这个就是西方极乐世界最微妙的地方。那里呢，按照经典所说，
So that's the marvelous thing about Sukhavati. According to the sutra, they have palaces as many as the poles on the intranet, and the 8 meritorious water bodies have golden sand lining their bottom, and all the palaces are made of the 7 treasures. So that is the most marvelous and supreme and majestic, magnificent, pure lands and Buddha verses. Because we practice Amitabha Dharma, that's why I describe the Sukhavati or the Western realm of Atma's bliss briefly. That Sukhavati is remarkably magnificent, supreme, and truly marvelous and amazing. And the key point is here. In human life, you separate while you're alive or because of death. That's why in the Maha-Parinirvana Sutra, the Mahaprajnaparamita Sutra condensed into the Vajra Sutra and condensed into the Heart Sutra. And the key point in the Heart Sutra is on the unattainability. In Chinese, 3 words. That in samsara, in this world, there's nothing that you can gain or own. Once there was a legislator in Taiwan that told me, which I often shared before, the person is already in heaven, but his money is in the bank. His wife is on some other man's chest, and his brothers are fighting for his inheritance. So, let me ask, once you go, once you die, what do you get? So, it's very clearly stated in the Hatmut Sutra, nothing to gain. You cannot gain anything. You think that romantic love is forever? No such thing. Of course, on the surface, you have to say it is forever. But how can it be? Impossible. Many rich people also experience it, that their money is not their own, really not their own. And people in high positions will also know that the positions they hold are also temporary. It's in a cycle. Everything is in a cycle. Wealth in a cycle. Looks also in a cycle. Power and status also in a cycle. And lastly, nothing to gain. Nobody can get anything. Therefore, Kalachakra told me, Grandmaster Lu, you should not accumulate wealth. That's why he told me not to gather the wealth. That's why I founded the charitable Shen Ching Tze Foundation, primarily to donate this wealth. Currently, Shen Ching Tze Foundation is only in America. But today, the CEO for Ching told me that in the future, Shen Ching Tze Foundation will help globally to provide disaster relief all around the world. So we are changing, because doing it in America, in the beginning, we just did in America, but in the future, we will provide disaster relief all over the world. Wherever disasters occur, Shen Ching Tze Foundation will be there. We have the international, the ICHS, and Anyang Senior Home together built a big elderly home, and Shen Ching Tze Foundation is helping this elderly home. About 750,000 plus 500,000. So that would be 1.25 million. For the Jian'an elderly home. and also all the medical equipment during COVID-19 as well. And we also building this elderly home, and we also have scholarships to help students who have good grades but have no money to continue their schooling. We are also helping them to complete their education. So I donated my own saving for the amount of 1.25 million to Sung Yen Lu Foundation so that they can do all this work. But although Kalachakra told me not to accumulate money, I should at least save some for myself. Why? Right? Because to prevent, I mean, just to prepare in case you become old and sick and you need some money. Like Simu needing the home care to help. How much did I say? She needs 20,000 US dollars a month for round-the-clock home care. That's what they asked. When I heard that, I fell off my bed, almost lost my life. I was so shocked. Medical care in America is extremely pricey, very expensive. Look at the Lien Yin Fa Si. He twisted his leg, and then there was a crack in his bone, and it cost $50,000. And how about Lien Tze? In NT dollars, over 1 million. This is America. So over $30,000, and for him $50,000. Please be seated. Just twisting his feet. That's all. So 50,000 for that. So of course we need to have some saving for the future, especially if you're sick. And when you're sick, you suffer and you have to spend money too. Although we have insurance, but although the insurance is like Obamacare, but they took a lot of our money to the insurance company. We have to pay a lot to the insurance company every month. It's really not easy to live in America. It seems to be easier in Taiwan. You don't have to spend that much money. Everything is more economical there. But in America, it's very difficult. So I need to have some saving. So I told Kalachakra, I cannot listen to you completely, then I would suffer. Just look at Simu now, $20,000 a month. Think about it. And the insurance company will not pay for it. So sometimes they don't cover certain things. Some things are covered, and everything you have to go through the insurance companies, and then they have to decide if they can cover or not, or is it self-pay, and they're all expensive. So living in America is really not too easy. Okay, let me share a joke.
小明到学校的食堂吃饭，发现菜不太新鲜。
Xiaoming went to the cafeteria at school and found the food was not fresh, and then he told the cook, "You know, the food this week is not as good as last week." And the cook said, "Nonsense. This is from last week."
今天我去银行换新钞。
Today I went to the bank to change for the new bills, and I was cheated.
我要领10万块，要全新的。
I wanted $100,000 and all new crispy bills, and the bank said,
那领1万就好了。
"We don't have that many. Then how about $10,000? And the bank said, "We don't have that many." And I said, "How about 5,000? And the bank said, "No, we don't have that." And I tried to hold my anger. How about $1,000? And yet the bank said, "Really? No, we don't have that." You are a big bank and you don't have $1,000 worth of new crispy bills? And the bank replied, "It's not that the bank don't have the new bills, but you don't have enough money in your account." Go to your own bank and how much money you have in your account. There was a disciple in the past who often made offering of $20 in a check. And then I tried to cash it. I deposited, and then it was rejected. It bounced. And then I was fined a fee, $25. So see, I lost money. And the same the second time. He also wrote a check for $20, and I cashed it again, also bounced. And then I lost another $5. And then the third time, he wrote another check. And I told him never to write checks again. No, please don't make any offering, okay? Thank you, no need. You can come for consultation, but never make any offering. They don't have enough money in their accounts. Even $5 check was bouncing. $5 check. And then I have to pay $20 out of pocket fee. So I told him, no, please, no need for offering. Thank you, no need. I might as well give you the money. So that is America. There's a huge company and there's several beauties, and they're all sitting together and chatting very merrily how to take a revenge against the boss of the company. A said, on Tuesday, I cut his tire so that the air got out, and everybody shouted. And then the second one said, on Wednesday, I placed a laxative in his coffee. They all. And on Friday, I placed a bowl of water on the door so that when he went to the bathroom, he got all wet. And then he said, half a month ago, I secretly poked a hole in his condom, that in the future that would be horrible. And all three of them cries really loudly. Oh my God. That shouldn't have happened. Do you know what it means? Today, we will talk about Vimalakirti Sutra. What is Brahma Net Bodhisattva? Brahma. So, he belongs to the heavenly realm of form. In the third dhyana heaven, there is a net there that's called Brahma net. Do we know the Triyatrimsa heaven at the center of the 33 heavens? There is an Indra net of bright pearl. There's also net there. So why is this bodhisattva called Brahma net? Because the net is very expansive, which means he uses the pure or the clean net to deliver sentient beings. Like the net in the Mahabrahma heaven, the third dhyana heaven. So the sentient beings that he delivered is like the net. So Brahma means pure, and net means vast. I have said about this, about catching fish. If you fish using a pole, you can only get one, but with a net, you can get a lot. Like Jesus Christ, when he was trying to convert Simon Peter, who was a fisherman, and the sea was called Galilee, the Sea of Galilee. And Simon Peter's boat has docked at the harbor, and Jesus walked to him and told him, have you caught some fish today? And he replied, no, we did not catch any fish out in the ocean. And Jesus says, if you listen to me, you would be able to catch many fish. And Peter said, we don't even catch any fish in the open ocean. What ways do you have so that we can catch fish? And Jesus said, why don't you cast your net right here? And Peter and his friends all laughed. How could it be possible? They could not even catch any fish out in the open sea. How could they catch fish right by the dock? But Jesus said, just cast your net. And he did. And when he pulled it up, there was fish all inside the net. Someone is crying so loud. Eat the fish. Yeah, it's distracting to me too. So in a moment, they caught lots of fish. So strange. And they caught all the fish right by the dock and not in the open sea. So when Jesus Christ was converting people, he used many miracles. The same with this Brahmanet Bodhisattva. He delivered many sentient beings. When Grandmaster was young, in Penghu, Grandmaster also used net to catch fish, not fishing. I know how to fish too, at Lake Sammamish too. The fish in Lake Sammamish is very smart. They don't get hooked easily. The fish knew that the baits in America are all fake, like something with plastic, not tasty. But Grandmaster is very good at fishing. I would find a red worm, not too thin and not too fat. The gray or black worm would not be eaten by fish. It should be red worm, but not too tiny. It should be kind of bigger. And then place at the tip of the hook. And then we place it inside Lake Sammamish, right across from here. And that day I caught many fish. And the fish was tasty. I did fish at Lake Sammamish. At that time, the second and third brother's home was next to Lake Sammamish, and that's where I fish. It's very difficult. They said it's really hard to catch fish at Lake Sammamish, but Grandmaster did catch fish there. And in Taiwan, I was really good at it. I used sand mixed with fragrant tiny shrimps, and then you grind them really finely, just like dirt. And then you sprinkle those onto the river, and all the fish would come because that thing is fragrant. And then I dip my fishing pole, and very fast I catch fish. there's a method, and you use the red worm because it has some taste, but not the black worm. So I use the red worm and catch a lot of fish at Lake Sammamish. And in Penghu, I cast the net, a lot of net. And when the tide is coming in, the water is above the net, so the fish are inside the net. When the tide is going out, then the fish is inside the net, and then I collected it. So now you understand the method. So I catch fish on the seaside in Penghu, and those were my experience. So Brahmanet Bodhisattva also had the same experience as I did. So we human beings just like fish, so he delivered many sentient beings. And in such a way, he's called a Brahmanet Bodhisattva. He used pure Buddha Dharma to transform and deliver sentient beings. And with marvelous Dharma teaching, they all delivered. And this kind of Bodhisattva is called Brahmanet Bodhisattva. The next one is Precious Scepter or Cane Bodhisattva. This, like cane or staff, or a pole, I always have that pole and turn it, twist it. Where's Xing En? Sinclair? Xing En? I taught her how to use the staff or pole. Do you know how to play? She did it really well. She must practice at home. She's learned the Shaolin pole, Kung Fu. Okay, go in. Like a stick or staff. So the precious cane or staff. But this staff is not for Kung Fu, but to place it on his shoulder. And then he carried the Dharma work of the Tathagata. So it's like so we often say this, so you use like a pole to shoulder the work of the Tathagata, which is the work to deliver sentient beings. So such a bodhisattva is called the precious pole bodhisattva. Because he doesn't do anything else, he just regards the work of Tathagata as his work. And he always spread Buddha Dharma to deliver sentient beings. Just like the ministers in Christianity and the priests in Catholicism. So they carry or shoulder the pole of God or Jesus Christ, and for us is of the Tathagata. They have no other career. They are completely dedicated to the work of Buddha Dharma. Such a bodhisattva is called the precious pole bodhisattva. The next one is no victory Bodhisattva. It's not that he doesn't have any victory, but this is a complete victory. That's how Chinese is. But actually, it's not no victory, but it's complete victory Bodhisattva. That's why Chinese is very difficult to learn. So this Bodhisattva is extremely good at debates. Nobody can win over him. The Guge kingdom of Tibet, Zhihui Guang and Budi Guang, the kings are called the Wisdom Light and Bodhi Light, went to India to invite a sage, the Venerable Atisha, to come to Tibet to spread Buddha Dharma, which is the latter dissemination of Buddhism into Tibet. They did not know who Atisha was, and they asked many people and could not get the answer. And someone told them, you know, the Venerable Atisha had many keys on his chest. Many keys hanging on his neck. How come? Why is he wearing all those keys? Because one key represents a temple. It's a key to a temple. And how come he had so many temples? Because his Dharma teaching, his debates was number one. And they debated Buddha Dharma. There was a tradition in India. They loved to get into debates. Debates about Buddha Dharma. And it went to Tibet. And like when you learn a sutra, then you start debating, asking questions and answering. You do that, and then you say something and you reply right away. So like people playing Tai Chuan or the martial art exercise. So in India, the Venerable Atisha was number one in debates. And the loser should give his temple to the winner, and also had to take refuge in the winner. So that's why he had so many keys, and he also had many parasols, because when he won, he would get a parasol. And the Venerable Atisha was a master of debates. That's why he had lots of keys hanging on his chest. And they went there and saw someone with lots of keys on his chest and knew that was Atisha. So they invited Atisha to Tibet, and that was the start of the latter dissemination period of Buddhism. And the early dissemination of Buddhism was by Guru Padmasambhava, and the latter one was by Guru Atisha. So, until he was about to leave Tibet, and by coincidence there was a war in Nepal, so he could not return to India. So near Lhasa, he died. He died in Tibet. he died in Tibet. He entered into Nirvana. And Guru Atisha was very amazing at debates, and nobody could win over him. He was number one. And such a bodhisattva who is number one in giving Dharma teaching, in debates, he's called the complete victory bodhisattva. They can give Dharma teaching and very marvelous in discussing the sutras and unsurpassed by anybody. Then he would be called the complete victory bodhisattva. Now do you know? The next one, magnificent land bodhisattva, using all the merit and his own wisdom to adorn the Pure Land and Buddhaverse. So, magnificent land bodhisattva adorned the Pure Land using his own merit and wisdom. So, this Vimalakirti Sutra is also like this. Why a bodhisattva adorn the Pure Land? How can a bodhisattva adorn the Pure Land? So Vimalakirti Sutra is talking about this reasoning. So magnificent land bodhisattva is the one who adorned the Pure Land using his own merit and his accumulated wisdom. And the complete victory bodhisattva is like the Venerable Guru Atisha. So today we explain the Brahma Net Bodhisattva, Precious Staff or Pole Bodhisattva, Complete Victory Bodhisattva, and Magnificent Land Bodhisattva. Let me share a joke. There's a great madam, and by accident joined a group chat of the PhDs, and one asked, a drop of water that came from very, very, very high and hitting a human's body, will it harm? Will it injure that person? Or kill him? Then there are many chats, many discussions, theories, and everything, calculations. And then this lady said, have you been in the rain? And then everybody was quiet, and then kicked her out from the group chat. Therefore, sometimes it's not necessary that a PhD will always win. For common sense or the accumulated knowledge or experience will win over those PhDs with complex thoughts and brains. This makes sense. So will a drop of water falling from very high injure a human being? And all those PhDs were thinking very seriously, but the old lady, with her common sense, gave the answer right away. This is a joke about China. Last year's New Year, the daughter-in-law was pregnant and visiting the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law was very touched and gave him $1,000, give her $1,000. And the daughter-in-law asked, "Is this for me or for the baby?" And the mom understood, and she took another $1,000 and said, "This is for the baby." And then the daughter-in-law said, "But I'm having twins, according to the doctor." That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.
对不起啊，我这个笑话啊，今天我在家里准备的笑话
I'm sorry.
带来，所以临时找这几个笑话。
I forgot to bring the jokes from home, so these jokes I just spontaneous. So thank you very much for the precious Dharma teachings.